Hello there, my name is Lucy Mutungi, Communication Specialist at Zada Consult. Welcome back to our channel. We are glad you're here. And today we'll be talking about an interesting conversation. This being Women's History Month, we'll be discussing the role that women are playing in real estate. And to join us for this discussion today is someone who is well conversant with what's happening in real estate. She's knowledgeable, she has been here, and she's going to tell us what it's like for women in this industry. So I want to welcome on set the managing director for Zada Consult. I'll allow her to introduce herself. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Lucy. My name is Ilhan Dahir. I'm the managing director of Zada Consult. And as she said, it's an interesting conversation today, being the Women's History Month. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about female professionals in real estate and also us as developers in real estate. So I'm excited.
Yes, Karibu, thank you.
Thank you.
So to start us off, how would you describe the perception of women in real estate currently?
I think when you talk about perception, things are changing, I think, based on the dynamics of how things are moving and how the economy is also going. And I'm talking about my own representation as a minority woman. Like, I think things are moving better, things are growing. People are having a different perspective of what actually women like us can do in the industry. As much as it's male-dominated industry, I think things are moving, things are being better. An example of that is my mom being a developer and also me being a developer.
Mm-hmm.
So that inculcates a lot of responsibilities and also gives us a perception on how things are moving into the industry.
Yeah, that's a good thing. It's good to note that things are changing, that the women today in real estate have a different experience from women who've been there.
Correct.
So what would you say, what have the challenges been, and what is the progress that women have made in real estate?
I think being in a developing economy, I think the biggest challenge is just the unconscious biases that we encounter with a male-dominated industry like real estate and being a developer.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of also decision making, women are not taken seriously, or we are not as equivalent of good decision makers as men are. So sometimes there's doubts, sometimes there's also lack of being taken serious, and also the aspect of being given an opportunity to actually be a managing director of a development. So they're huge challenges, but I feel like the perception is different. Things are things are changing in different dynamics, but I feel like those challenges would decrease as time goes by, because women are waking up. I think women are also understanding that, what a man can do, a woman can also do. But I think based on just having a huge men in the field gives us a little bit of us being a minority into the industry.
It's interesting you mentioned about women being involved into the decision makers. Yes. And I agree it's important that we have women at that level. Yes. Not just reducing women to being the people who cook for construction workers. Yes. It has to go beyond that. So would you encourage more women to come into real estate, and why?
I think the beauty of real estate comes from different minds and different perceptions of what people are in the industry. And I do encourage women who would come into the industry, because I think as a Zada Consult, 50% of the employees that work here are women. And also the developments we have at 3408, most of we have 50-50 contracts with both men and women. So that gives us the encouragement for women to be in the field of as mechanical engineer, as electrician, as also people who are able to be foremen, who are decision makers in steel. So I think it's very encouraging, because we are also home builders. Women are, whenever a man wants to buy a house, he takes decisions from his wife. Mm-hmm. So based on that aspect, we should also be decision making people in that industry, because I think we have we are a huge key stakeholders into the industry.
Yeah. And being a developer yourself, what would you say? You've said that women will influence the kind of home probably a man buys, or even when they are buying the homes themselves. What are some of the interesting things you've seen maybe a female client having on a project? Say they came to get a home from you. I understand sometimes they have a different view. What is something you have seen that you would say?
Like on the current project we're working on that 408, we have a 5-bedroom simplex that has on the master bedroom that has a walk-in closet, and she was talking about the situation of the design being more catered to men and not being catered to females. So in that aspect, we also took note on that, because we actually designed it for men. That is what the developer designed it for. But when we went back and took that feedback in, we did some adjustments into that walk-in closet. Also, we also had some few feedbacks based on like putting some mirrors on the wall for women to dress when they're dressing up. That is something we also did not cater for. So you can see some few specs in it based on the touch, the women element of touch and design elements. So I think based on that, developers are also keen on understanding why women need to be in this industry.
Yeah, and why women also need to be at the level where they are making decisions about what should this development look like.
Correct.
And such like things.
Yes.
So now the theme for this year's International Women's Day is innovation and technology for gender equality. In what way would you say that technology and innovation is opening up the real estate space for more women?
So innovation and technology has opened up opportunities for us as women, especially here at Zada Consult, whereby we are enabling the ability for developers to increase their efficiencies when they are renting houses to tenants. So rather than having a property manager come inside and ask for rent, what we are doing at Zada Consult is we are developing a technology whereby the tenant can just access that technology and just pay it, can pay the developer's amount of renting through that app. So in terms of that, I think we will increase a lot of efficiencies with the developers, and also it will give us the understanding of what actually happens in the market.
Oh, that's amazing. We can't wait to see how that goes.
Yes, I'm also excited about that.
Yes. Wow. And now, away from real estate, what are some of the things you like about being a woman?
Oh, I think I would, even if I would want to be born a man, even if I would want to be born again, I would never choose a man. You know, I feel like being a woman gives you a different instincts of emotions, of how you deal with people. I think women in leadership are better, more engaged with the employees rather than a man. It's because I think we are more emotionally in tune. We're people who are also mothers, so we have that motherly instincts that, you know, if something is going wrong, we can actually feel it with our guts. So on that aspect, we're also peaceful decision makers. We are negotiators, and we're good in diplomacy. So I would never give any other chance not to be a woman. I think being a woman is beautiful. Being a woman is eccentric, and I love being the person I am. And I think the position I'm holding at the moment gives a lot of advantages to women who look like me. You know, I may be a mentor to them. I might also be someone who they look up to. So in that aspect, I would not want to be a woman.
Yeah, and to make this a bit more personal, I want to ask you. You are a developer, but in your personal space, what's that thing that you really like, or you would want for your space?
Artistic. I'm very artistic, so I love drawing, and I also love painting. I also own, aside from Zada Consult, I'm also a designer. I design female clothing, and I'm also a printmaker. So that gives me the ambience to just calm myself sometimes when I have a lot of work overload, and also that gives me I get to be myself in that space. You know, I get to feel that, you know, like, wow, the beauty that I'm creating is actually me, you know, rather than being in that professional suit and coming to work and being a decision maker. Sometimes painting and printing and doing the things that I love give me a sense of stability in my life.
Wow, that's amazing. Just a random one.
Yes.
Between a walk-in closet with dresses, or even, let's say, bags, between bags and shoes, which one?
I would take shoes.
You take
all
shoes?
the time. I would take shoes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I'm not a bag person.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And now, I'm sure to get to the place you have gotten to, the MD for Zada Consulting, doing all other things in fashion, I'm sure there has been some sort of attributes within yourself and also the experiences you've had or the support you've gotten around you? What are some of the things you would say you got as a little girl that have enabled you to get to where you are now?
I think my mother has been the best image for me. I think my mother flew from war in 1991 from Somalia. She came here with no little knowledge of Kiswahili or English, but she has attained a magnitude of success in a short little while raising 10 kids. So for me, my mother is like a shield for me. My mother is like a source of wisdom. So for me, whatever that I am becoming is like a source of image or a mirror that I am reflecting through what my mom's steps are. So as a kid, the attributes that my mom gave me is to go for what I want. My mom is a very she's a really good motivator, but also a big risk taker, and that is what entrepreneurship and business is all about. So she taught me the essence of taking risks, the essence of speaking your mind and also being vocal about what issues are bothering me. So that's why I'm able to understand sometimes what I really want and what I can focus on, because that gives me the pivot of what my business goals are.
And what are some of the experiences you would wish for girls coming after you? Probably the things you've seen that you wouldn't want a girl to go through. What are some of the things you would want for someone else?
To be honest with you, I feel like for me, my whole essence of being a successful woman is not just to be successful, but also to give, just to be a focal point, or to give a reflection to women who look like me. Especially, that's why I'm really reflecting on them, because I'm from a very conservative community. I'm from a community that most of our women are not educated. So I would advise women to also get out of their comfort zone, as my mother taught me. I advise women to be themselves. I think the beauty of being yourself is that you create beautiful things around you, because you're not afraid of what people are looking forward into, rather than you create things that you look forward to. So I encourage women to be very ambitious, to be strong, to be bold, and to be vocal into what they want. Yeah.
That's awesome. And finally, a message for women already in real estate, and even women who are hoping to join the industry in different capacities. What would you say to them?
I think real estate in Kenya is really improving. The economy is widening up based on also the new presidency that is promoting a lot of policies in real estate. I encourage women to take up challenges in real estate, to develop their skills, mostly their skills and mostly their technical skills, because real estate has a lot of portfolio, as you said. You can be an agent, you can be a valuer, you can be a developer, you can be a constructor, you can be an electrician. So based on all those varieties of what the market is offering, I think your passion should also drive you. You should be passionate about something, and you should go for what you want.
Wow, that's a good place to end it. Thank you. You should go for what you want. I think that's the takeaway for me, and also the aspect of being a risk taker.
Yes.
Regardless of what the situation is like. So thank you so much. And thank you to you, our viewers, for sticking with us. I hope you've learned something. I hope you will go out and be a risk taker and do everything that you need to do. And to all the women watching us on this channel, we want to celebrate you this month, and we want to tell you there's a lot of opportunities for all women in real estate. Thank you. Until the next one. Thanks.